Stays at the Ritz-Carlton in Paris, upgraded rooms in Las Vegas, $1,000 dinners on first-class flights overseas. This is what the former CEO of JAUNT was paying for in business trips prior to his parting ways with the local transportation company.
We now have new information about the split between JAUNT and its former CEO, Brad Sheffield. CBS 19's Macy Moore spoke with a local radio show host who obtained the documents and, well, as the former CEO, was why he spent so much money. Macy.
Rick and Ashley, Schilling told me he had heard a tip about the audit that led to the JAUNT board and Sheffield parting ways. That's when he sued to get the receipts from the audit released. The spending habits of former JAUNT CEO Brad Sheffield under a microscope after a FOIA lawsuit resulted in receipts from several of Sheffield's business trips being made public.
We asked JAUNT for the information. They told us they did not believe they were subject to Freedom of Information Act.
The Freedom of Information Act provides the public the right to request access to records from any federal agency. In simpler terms, it keeps people in the know about their government. Schilling says as much as he believed his sources, he was still in complete shock when finally obtaining the receipts.
I saw the receipt and I thought, you got to be kidding me. This is what a quote-unquote public servant thinks is appropriate for public service.
For example, documents show Sheffield spent thousands of dollars with extensive traveling to Paris, London, and Chicago. First-class flights and several upgraded hotel rooms. He also purchased 2 bottles of wine, one for $600 and one for $750. I spoke to Sheffield, who says his expenses are a part of his strategic investment approach. He says he was using money from the private side of the business to show appreciation to private contractors and other people he worked with, and trying to cultivate relationships that would benefit JAUNT in the future.
I don't think people can really place a value on the actual interaction that you have with your peers and others when you go to other locations, whether it's for conferences or workshops or such.
He says research shows that in-person travel is vital in the success of any business, and everything he did was to help the public-private transportation company. JAUNT performed a financial audit and decided to part ways with Sheffield, asking him to resign in December of last year. Sheffield says there's one big misconception. He wants people to know he's not involved in the lawsuit over the receipts. I did reach out to JAUNT today, but didn't hear back. Now, in March, the company released a statement, and it says the audit shows the expenses violated internal control policies, but were not illegal. The board then requested Sheffield's resignation. Live in the studio, Macy Moore, CBS 19 News.
All right, Macy, thank you. And JAUNT is a public-private corporation, and it's that public money used to help fund it that makes it subject to the Freedom of Information Act laws.